all the numbers in the world tell you like why someone is doing something. If you get that loop going, then you can't go far wrong, and you'll be better than probably 95% of companies doing. It's the only champagne I know the name of, other than the ones I've heard in rap songs.
They've actually trademarked the orange.
Woo! Oh, cheers. Yeah.
If you were going into a firm and they didn't have any measurement set up, and you were then hired to set up the measurement, you just run us through a bit of a basic process as a guide for somebody without getting too detailed. What would it be?
We talked about training your subconscious, right? Like as an AI. All the numbers in the world won't tell you like why someone is doing something, right? Like if you see a big spike in users every September, and you could maybe even see the locations of those users, you might not really understand like where they're coming from. But then if you talk to some of those users, then they would say, I'm the IT manager at a school, and I'm like, I'm installing your product on our IT lab computers, and that's why you get a big spike. I think this is something that most measurement people are really bad at in general, because we're like Excel geeks, and we don't like to talk to people as much as other professions do. So I think like that's the biggest edge, and that's the first thing you should do is like try and get some customer interviews. Try and talk to people, and then the very next thing you can do after that is start doing surveys, because that's like, it's not as good, but it's like talking to people at scale, right? And kind of getting some interesting results there. That will help you build some intuition about what you're seeing in the numbers. And then it's really just a case of doing like a simple kind of like funnel analysis. So based on the tracking, data that you have, so it might be UTM parameters, it might be tracking pixels or SK ad network. Based on what you have, it's going to be imperfect, but you just want to kind of get a breakdown of what are the conversions by funnel stage, split by channel and split by campaign, and kind of look for any anomalies there. And then to really like validate that, you need a marketing mix model that it's a probabilistic model, right? But you're going to use it to kind of calibrate what you're seeing in attribution and see, okay, well, Facebook retargeting says I'm getting this many conversions, but actually the marketing mix model doesn't agree. It says it's less incremental than we thought. And then the final kind of piece of the pie is, and this is like more political and harder and more expensive to do, is to run like an incrementality test. And so the way I kind of see it is I kind of then cascades, kind of back propagates. So like the incrementality test, or like if you run like a geographic test, that will help you calibrate the marketing mix model, get that right. And then the marketing mix model will help you calibrate your attribution, your like digital tracking, and then your digital tracking will kind of help you kind of put flesh around like what you're seeing from user surveys, and then the user surveys will also kind of inform the questions that you ask to users when you talk to them. And if you get that loop going, then you can't go far wrong, and you'll be better than probably 95% of other companies do.